Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that rule well, laboring the word and doctrine. Shalom, meaning peace. May that be into the elect of the nation of Israel. I'm going to try to keep this one real short, literally a couple of minutes. So it'll be a spiritual speaking. I won't be able to pull too many scriptures. I'm just driving in transit at the moment. But Matthew 23 and 23 says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and ye have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone." Alright, so you have to understand that not all laws are equal as well. You know, when the Israelite foreigners, Gentiles, were coming back in the faith, they weren't put the whole law wasn't put upon them. Right? They weren't taught about every single law, because that'd be a burden. You know, because even them that grew up in Jewry, meaning grew up knowing they were Israelites and grew up in the customs, they weren't keeping the laws. You know, not all of them. Okay, so even in that. But in this, you know, you have to recognize that we are not, this is not by any means an excuse to break the law, but we are not justified by the law. Okay, if we were, we'd all be fucked. We'd all be through. There would be absolutely no hope or chance for anybody. And it would also make Yahawashi and his sacrifice, the greatest sacrifice, would make that void vain. You know, because if Yahawashi was sacrificed for Israel, then Israel needed to keep every single law in this flesh, in this captivity, every single law, with no room for error. What was the point of the sacrifice? You understand? But on the same note, if Yahawashi made that sacrifice, and then we just continue as sinners, you know, just doing whatever we want, being self-willed, what's the point? You know, if we willfully sin, what's the point? Find the scripture and what it says about willful sin as well. Okay? So there's weightier matters of the law. You know, and a lot of groups don't like to focus on this. I remember that one, what do you call it? The Watchman for Israel, you know, also known as the YouTube tag Adam Abba. There was one guy out of there with dreadlocks, which tell me where that is, you know, that in our customs. But one guy with dreadlocks anyway, talking about fringes or death. You know, fringes or death, where there's nowhere in the law is that written. If you want to get technical, the wages of sin are death. You know, but that isn't what he was saying. He was saying you need to wear fringes all the time, or the Lord's going to put you to death. You know, you have to understand that we in the world, I speak for myself, me in the world, you know, I was a ninja, man. You know, a sorcerer, adulterer, you know, with you know, a lot of grimy shit. You know, but Lord willing, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, Ratazah, if I be of the elect, you know, that's covered, that's blotted out. You know, and then therefore we're made blameless. But it's nothing of our own works, because we're all going to offend in the law. We're all going to offend in one point, and let me just pull up and get that. We're all going to offend in one point, which means what? We're guilty of it all. I'll pull the scripture verbatim in a minute, you know, and I will end it there. But you have to put these things in true balance, man. That's why Yahawashi was saying, all right, yeah, cool. You tithed, you know, you with your various goods, or the increase of your crop or whatever, but you've forgotten a lot of more important things, you know. So this is the book of James 2 and 10. It says, "For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all." So you have to put it in perspective. You know, you don't pardon and let a man sin, you know, and tell him that that's a great thing. But again, you have to weigh it up in the balance. You know, you don't say Yahawashi came so we do what we want, but you don't say we have a Messiah that says we'll only be justified by the law. You know, we're justified through our faith. Lord willing, we be those men, women, children. The elect will be justified in Yahawashi, in his blood. You know, his sacrifice was not in vain. Okay? But again, you know, we need to keep striving at the same point. All right, so on to the next one, Lord willing. Shalom.